Hi everyone, it's Alex and Eric from Corumdale Farm. We are a year 3 Oklahoma flower farm that sells retail market bouquets from our roadside stand. And it is the night before our opening day. I'm super nervous, but really excited that it's finally here. Obviously, we stopped selling in the beginning of October, so it's been a long time since we've been selling flowers, since we've had so many flowers, but the night is finally here. In front of me, I have all of our tulips that we're gonna be hoping to sell tomorrow. They're getting rehydrated. And so as I was harvesting the tulips over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, we put them in our fridges with the bulb on because then they last the longest that way. And so what I've done is I pulled out from our fridges how many I needed. I cut off the bulb, they're here, so I've not made as much mess as I did from last year, so I'm already improving and getting more efficient. They've got cut right into the trash bag, which can go to compost and all of that at another time, but they're in their wraps that they were stored in the cooler with so that they can rehydrate hopefully fairly straight overnight. And then I will come back in the morning and I'll get them all out of their bundles. My plan probably is to unwrap a bunch of them in like a big giant tulip mound here. And I know for our $25 bouquets, I'm gonna do about 12 stems per wrap. And so if I just have a big mound of all of our tulips with our colors, I can very easily grab 12 stems, arrange them, wrap them, and then get them in our steel buckets, which we use in the flower stand because they're a little bit prettier than our harvest buckets. Hopefully that's a quick process, but we'll see. But until then, these guys need to get rehydrated, get a little more color in them because we harvest them at color crack. So get a little more color so people can see what they're buying. Hopefully be nice and straight and wonderful in the morning, but I can't believe it's the night before our opening day. I'm so nervous because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm optimistic because we've been working really hard on our marketing, but you never really know. One of my ways that I tried to be really efficient and focused on like what makes the least amount of steps for me is when I was in the harvest process, I was bundling all of our tulips as much as I could in groups of 20. And so when I pulled them out from the field, they came over here to be processed and their bottom leaves stripped. I then bundled them in 20 and then wrapped them in our craft paper, just like we use for our bouquets. And so I knew tonight I want 800 or so tulips ready for tomorrow. So then I need 40 bundles out of our cooler. And I'm not just like throwing individual stems in our cooler. I don't have some with 12, some with 16, some with 10, and then you're just like recounting all over again. It becomes so much more complicated. I tried to streamline it on the front end. So on the processing side, I bundled them in groups so that it was time for this afternoon's activity to pull them out. I didn't feel like a mad counting woman having to figure out like, well, how many do I pull out of the cooler? Where are they? I also organized them from oldest to freshest, I guess. So a lot of these were pulled probably 2 weeks ago. And then I'll work my way to the newer ones, you know, so like the Easter tulips were harvested a lot last week. So they'll be 2 weeks by the time we get to them for Easter. That way also I'm getting like the best quality of life out of them and I'm not pulling from the freshest or the youngest tulips first and leaving the old guys to just forever be in the cooler. We didn't want that to happen. So that made this process much more efficient in getting my correct numbers because we have a goal tomorrow, you know, of how many we'd like to make. And I didn't want to make under that. I didn't want to pull out too many because once you pull them out of the cooler, you got to use them. So I didn't want to end up with like way too many. And then it's like, well, we're not going to sell 100 bouquets tomorrow sort of thing, potentially. So I liked this number organization system I did this year. It was much more efficient. So it's the evening now. I have my space prepped. I've pre-folded my wraps. I have my rubber bands and my snips all ready where I make the bouquets here. I've got my buckets all washed and ready to be filled with water. My making area table is cleared off. Everything in its buckets to rehydrate. So I don't have anything else to do tonight except to just like worry and stress about the next day. But our seedling lights are on a timer, so it's going to be dark here in a couple hours and they'll just drink up all this water, get some color, and I am going to be back out here at like, because I was telling Eric, because I'm rusty, like I haven't been making bouquets for months and months and months. I'm not going to be as fast as I was, you know, at the end of the season. So I'm planning to pad a lot of extra time. So probably gonna be out here about 5 a.m. So we'll see how many I end up making an hour. We'll check back in and see how I do. But until then, it's time for the tulips to rest and for us to rest.
Whoa. Good morning, farm friends. Today is launch day. It's time to go surprise and see what the bouquets look like. Starting off on a cold day today. It's like 37 out after a very pleasant day yesterday. So let's get over there and see what's going on. All right, let's crack open the flower vault and see what has been prepared for our launch day. All right, whoa, these look nice.
I'm on the ball today.
You feel like you're still got it?
I think it looks like a bunch of Easter eggs. I think it looks so cute.
They do look good.
What do you think? I like the colors.
They do look good.
Better than we thought.
It's a cold day to launch.
Yeah, it's like in the 30s outside. Flowers will like it.
Flowers will be nice and chilled.
But I started at 5:30.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hand the mic over.
I know.
We need two mics.
I know. I'll put it here.
That's why we only have one of us. So.
I started at 5:30, like actually doing the arrangements. I got out here maybe like 5 o'clock, 5:15. But started at 5:30 and I finished at around 7:20. So a little less than 2 hours. I made 60 wraps and 72 jars, 12 jars to make 72 total. If you watch our channel, you know I hate jars and I don't want to do jars and I don't support jars. But we have...
Don't support jar.
I'm anti-jar. I'm anti-jar. But we have a bunch of beautiful daffodils. We have some short ranunculus. I think it was a variety issue rather than like a growing error. They just bloom shorter. And we also had some short tulips where the bud was great, but the stem length wasn't. And so putting those three together in a jar, I think people will be happy because there's a good chunk of our customers that do love daffodils and ours don't grow long enough to put in the style wrap that we do. So for usually the first 2 weekends of spring, we have a jar option and then no more jars. But I think the jars look cute.
Take a look at them.
They've got daffodils, tulips, and the shorter ranunculus.
The variety of ranunculus was the what?
Almondine black.
Yeah, they're really weird how they grew.
Yeah, they're just short. And so, and none of our other ranunculus are short. So I think it's a variety
thing.
thing.
Even pick up this dark.
I know, it's so dark. But
the yellows and the reds look good.
Yeah. And the tulips, like the bud size is great on a lot of them. And they'll grow bigger, you know, as they mature. But the stems were just too short for a wrap. So it was a way to use them. And we did jars last year and they were popular. So I think these will do well. So 72 total is what we're going to put out. And
all right.
Save us time is
Let's
what I'm doing. So we just opened, we had a line of like 9 or 10 cars down our road before we opened the gates. We opened the gates a couple minutes before 9, which I cheated a little bit. And in 15 minutes, we've sold 31 wraps in 15 minutes. And now there's another customer. Okay, so it's been, what time is it? Okay, it's 9:50, so it's been 50 minutes since we've been open, maybe about an hour, and we have 9 left. So we started with 72, we have 9 left in an hour. It's kind of a little bit of a slower trickle now. I do think a lot of our customers have learned, like, we do sell out really quickly. So that it was like, what? I know, it's gonna get worse and worse. I know, it's gonna get worse and worse. It's like, we're gonna back up more and more on the road for the 9 a.m. slot. So it's a little bit of a trickle. I've decided to staff it because it's opening day and we are getting a lot of new customers. And so I wanted them to see our faces and how they check out and all of that. We have another customer, we'll be back. So it's 10:15 and we're sold out. So in a little over an hour, we sold everything. The painful part is we're watching cars drive by now that like right now in the shot that want flowers, but we're sold out and we have to tell them we're sold out. And it's painful and I hate it, but I made everything I could because we're trying to stockpile for Easter next week. So we really did the best we could. And I guess it's not a terrible problem to sell out 70 plus bouquets in an hour, but makes us excited for scaling up and growing our business, that it is clearly something that our county and our city loves and it's fun to be a part of. And I'm just really excited and thankful for all the support. So what an awesome opening day. I'm so thankful. I mean, obviously when you plan, I don't know if my microphone's on. Obviously when you plan and you grow all these flowers and you take care of them and you arrange them and you have all the butterflies, it's like if anyone's going to show up because you've worked all winter on marketing and everything, and it's just such a joy. And I'm so thankful when people do show up and like it's working and it's going well. And I don't know, I'm just giddy, tickled, excited, cold. And ultimately, we're just thankful for the Lord. He obviously prospered the tulips. We were stressed about them, but he gave them strong stems and made them sellable. And I'm really thankful for that. And I'm thankful that everyone gets to take these flowers home and enjoy them. And I hope it's a witness to God's glorious creation that we have made a business. So it's a wonderful day.